Good afternoon, everyone. In the today's class of robotics, we'll be continuing with respect to the feedback sensors. In the STS class, we have gone through the different temperature type of sensors and pressure sensors, which are placing a major role in the robotics as an feedback sensors and organizing the feedbacks which has been generated by these sensors by the controller in a safe mode of outcome ratios without deviating the maximum errors or fluctuation of the errors. In the today's class, we'll be proceeding with respect to the velocity feedback sensors and its utilities in the case of this robotics. So particularly the velocity, the word, the name itself is specifying the measurement, the measuring of its movements or a particular range or length, basically used to call as a displacement, changing of its position with respect to the time displacement. Nominally, the rate of movement or rate of displacement with respect to the time is called velocity. It may be of a linear velocity as well as an angular velocity, which is denoted with respect to the s in the case of linear movement or linear velocity, or omega with respect to the angular velocity. So the measurement of linear velocity we will be seeing initially. Basically, this velocity is the first derivative of the displacement, as if that the linear velocity is the rate of change of position with respect to the time. So the displacement concern, if the position has been changed with respect to the time factor or time bounding, which is normally calculated per second as per the global significations, as relates towards then linear velocity. Particularly, the methods which are used for the measurement of linear velocity with the help of the different types of transducers will be listing at the below. Transducer as the concept plays a major role as this that plays a two-dimensional roles, that transferring and the two from one form to the another form of changing its physical parametry is also called as a transducer. So changing of the physical form of the movement to another physical status of the movement, or phase transformation of the measuring aspects as called a transducer. Normally, from an mechanical to the electrical phase, or else from the electrical to the mechanical phase, leads to happen with the help of this transducer by commencing the sensor activity. So sensing is the basic phenomena commenced by this transducer, because transducer is also one of the type of sensor, and even sensor is furtherly characterized and specific parameters for transmitting the measurement from one form to the another. Either it may be heat, latent heat, which is generated from the external source, leads to an increment in with respect to the temperature in a closed room or closed environment. Different types of transducers which are utilized for measuring this linear velocity has been listed below. First one is the electromagnetic transducers. Secondly, the seismic transducers. So electromagnetic transducers in the sense with the help of the electronic concepts by fixing this permanent magnet, the transducers plays a major role for finding the linear movements of the objects. Coming to the seismic transducers, in order to examine the consequential changes occurring in the range of atmosphere and indeed to identify those the seismic or the earth variations will be captured from the environmental sector and will be displaying over the screens in the case of electrical medium. Coming to the linear velocity transducer, linearly the displacement changes will be getting captured and displaying in the fabulous screens, leads to an result oriented sector for identification. And this is the type of sensors will be utilized for calculating the linear velocity. And digital transducers for the identification of the movements of the objects. Transducers using a Doppler effect. Here, the Doppler effect confined to a range of strategy. The Doppler range the Doppler here resets the flow of any kind of offenses, whether it may be of liquid offense or else the gaseous medium or the solid medium, most probably will be leads towards the liquid phase movements. Those can be clearly captured to which space or velocity the objects are being, or the medium in the case of this liquid or gaseous is being moved in a particular way or path. Next, the velocity measurement using the displacement and the acceleration sensors. The velocity measurements in the variation of its displacement, so from one position to another position, and with a particular acceleration, incremental in range or decremental in range, maintaining or specifying its range. At this, the type of transducers plays a major role for finding the particular velocity category. Individually, we will be looking after each and every transducer and its capability and how far it is being classified and what rate of sector it will be getting operated. Come with the electromagnetic transducers, it's a transducer which is widely utilized in order to measure the linear velocities by fixing the transducer in the mobile vehicles or automobiles. Basically, this is the type of transducer which will be worked on the old DC or AC power supply, and the voltage produced within the coil on account of the change in the flux linkages that will result in the change in the reluctance. So nothing but based on the acceptor range of this EMF which is produced in the coil that leads to a magnetic flux variations or linkages and results from the change in its variational sectors. Particularly, it has been classified into two groups. There is moving magnet type. As this magnet moves from one side to another side, the field variations will be getting varied. And depending upon the field variations, the voltage fluctuations in order to increase in primary range to the secondary range or decremental range when it has been bypasses the primary range will be taking place. Secondly, the moving coil type of electromagnetic transducers. See, a moving coil type is an past utilizing as that the element which is a rod type or a permanent magnet which is rigidly coupled to the device for measuring the velocity. See here, there's a recent coupling that has been done in the permanent magnet in between permanent magnetic coil by maintaining with respect to a particular air gap, but with respect to permanent fixations. Here, the position or motion of the magnet that induces the voltage in the coil and the amplitude of the voltage is directly proportional to the velocity which we need to measure or capture in the measurement sector. Here, the polarity of the output voltage determines the direction of the motion. And the polarity in the sense either in the north or south poles. Basically, the direction specifies with respect to the fixed polarity levels in the equipment. And the coil is placed in the magnetic field as that of the generated voltage is calculated with respect to the kilovolts as the EMF output generated is equal to kV, where K is equal to band, there is constant, B is the flux density measured in Webers per meter square, A is the area of the coil measures in meter square, N as the number of turns of the coil maintained, where V is the relative velocity of magnet with respect to a coil, where K is the constant. Hence, the flux density, the area of the coil, and the number of turns that are being revoluted by this coil is constant. And hence, the relative velocity is, we have sent a clear-cut phenomena here. The motion of the magnet induces a voltage in the coil, and the amplitude of the voltage is directly proportional to the velocity. Hence, the VAN is constant. There's no any flux density changes or area of the coil changes when it's number of turns also. And finally, it's directly proportional flux density which does not changes or varies, and hence the amplitude which is generating the voltage is directly proportional to the velocity, and that velocity will be relating with respect to the direction specifies with respect to its polarity levels, and it may be of north pole or south pole. In such a way it is measured. Coming to the advantages sector, the maintenance requirements of these transducers, which are very much negligible, because with a slight variations, entire the sectors will be getting commenced. The major factor involving for its simplicity is there's no any mechanical surfaces or contacts that is required, even for the maintenance activities, for commencement of the maintenance activities. If at all any of the surfaces are need to be in contacts, uh, automatically for the sake of service, the maintenance is frequently required. Hence, there is a greater advantage, minimizes the economical factor and work factor also in the case of operational environment. And the output voltage is linearly proportional to the velocity. So the output voltage is generated as linearly proportional to its velocity as it specifies the final range. Coming to the limitations, the performance of this transducers is adversely affects by the stray magnetic fields. So this leads to an irritating sounds, nothing but causes a simple sounds. So there's a greater disadvantage in the case of this electromagnetic type of or moving magnet type of transducers. There is a classification of electromagnetic type of sensors. Hence, the frequency response is usually limited and is almost stated. Particularly, the transducers are not useful for the measurement of vibrations because the calibration that will deteriorate with steel tools that proceeds towards an demagnetization capability. Hence, it should be avoided in the phasing levels in order to safeguard the measuring agitations. So hence there is some greater limitations we can consider in the case of this linear form of identifying the velocity measurements in a fixed range of coil and linear movement of the coils. And next, even moving coil type velocity transducer. So moving coil type, here the name itself is clearly specifying that moving coil that will vibrates, that too within the allowable limitations within the two magnetic polarity levels, in between the fixed polarity levels or fixed space that is being provided for its fluctuations. Most probably it operates through the action of the coil which moves in a magnetic field within the allowable limitations, and the voltage is generated within the coil. The generated voltage is directly proportional to the velocity of the coil. So at what range of speed or velocity it is moving is specified with respect to the voltage generated within the allowable magnetic field range of fluctuating of this coil. Hence, the movement is accepted only with respect to a particular limitations, as the arm is clearly specifying in the diagram that it will be allowed to move within the polarity levels only. Here, the coil is pivoted at one range with respect to the arm, and the velocity is measured by applying the arm, and in between the permanent magnets, deflections will be indicating in the scale notations, or the output voltage, which is directly proportional to the velocity. So depending upon this velocity or output voltage generations within the particular fixed range of magnetic field leads to identify or measure the velocity. Coming to the advantages part, this is a more satisfactory arrangement as it relates to a closed magnetic circuit with a small air gap which is maintained at a constant range, and almost all the device is containing an anti-magnetic casing that reduces the effect of stray magnetic fields. Nothing but the noise levels will be reducing to a maximum extent, and the measurement will be commencing in a smooth way of sector. Secondly, the seismic type of velocity transducer, where a permanent magnet is supported between two springs and is fitted at a low friction bearings as shown in the figure. See, when the spring natures, it is being fixed, and at a outer pole piece, magnetic circuits has been connected, and the permanent magnets which are displaying is being as connected to a normal range for its fluctuations or damping factors. Here, the frame is rigidly attached to the object, and relatively whatsoever the speed is being achieved, that is being measured in the form of velocity. Particularly here, the object will vibrate at a frequency in excess as the low natural frequency of the transducer, which leads to an resonance factor. Here, the self-resonant frequencies of the seismic mass ranges typically between 100 Hz to 10 Hz to 15 Hz. If the operation has been commenced at a frequency of 20 Hz, hence the mass is relatively stationary, will not be having any of the variations. And the case and coil, which is moving in the magnetic field, is having a large voltage that is induced in the coil, that which is directly proportional to the velocity of this particular movements. It relates towards the velocity sectors. Particularly in the seismic transducers will be having a good frequency of response, because within the confined fixtures only the frequency will be getting taking place, or what minimal damping sectors will be taking place, as clearly specifies that both the moving coil and the seismic transducers have the disadvantage with respect to the connections, that are being directly linked up with respect to the moving parts. Thirdly, the linear velocity transducer. It's an inductive device which utilizes a link between the electricity and the magnetic reactions that has been identified by the scientist, that is H.A. Lorentz. Here, if the magnetic field that is moving near an electrical wire, if it has been moved with an electrical wire which is having a range of coil winding 1 and coil winding 2, and the core which is mounted with respect to the wiring, specifies with respect to the magnetic polarities, it is the north pole and the south pole. Here, the flow of current is being made to conduct through the form of the wire from one direction to another direction, or from one pole to the another another pole. That leads to generate the magnetic field between these two electrical coils. Nominally, the rod which is placed with respect to the winding is called a permanent magnet, or usually we will be calling it as a core. When this core, which is sliding inside this hollow sectional tube, which is called the bobbin, and a direct voltage or direct current is generated when this core moves within that particular bobbin. Now, due to the slides, it will be getting a DC voltage is generated by the movements of this particular core at a fixed position and in the permanent magnetic range. Because of these two coils which are wrapped with respect to its opposite polarity, because of this magnet having only the two poles, there is north and the south poles, where the south pole induces the voltage that is primarily conducted in the coil number 1, and north pole refers to an primary in core number 2, as displayed in the diagram clearly, that in the core number 1 and core number 2. That turns nominally out the net voltage, which is directly proportional to the speed of the core. Here we are having the specification that even though the range is very much limited in range, limited in strategy, this linear variable transducers are used in many of the machineries in order to increase its resistance capability, or in order to increase the RPM based upon the self-conduction of the electricity, in order to increase the voltage. And that developed voltage or generated voltage is utilized for increasing the RPM of the motor. That concept is utilized most probably in the lathe machines, building machines, drilling machines, etc. in our machinery activities. Coming to the digital transducers, the velocity is the rate of change of displacement with respect to the time, which is identified in the case of this digital transducers and it has been calculated with respect to the formal nominal formulation, that is V is equal to N into D by T, where N is the object which is moving with respect to and number of the mass, and D is the displacement or the distance between the mass which has been specified, and T is the particular time factor, time bound. Usually we are identifying this marks which can be having in a photo based system which is monitored with respect to electrical basis. Or normally these can be represented in the case of inductive categorizations or use the capacitive techniques or by capacitive techniques. Transducers which are using by the Doppler effect. Here we have a great advantage by the help of this Doppler effect, because the perfectness will be getting in the range of this measuring, particularly the linear velocity, very much concisely or precision orientedly or accurately can be calculated by utilizing this Doppler effect. Even is nothing but it's also called as an echo aspect or sound waves generated system, which is called the Doppler system. Here we'll be utilizing a narrow radio beam or ultrasonic beam, which is aimed on the object and will be reflected back to the source again. Obviously, the object will be moving with a particular frequency of signals will be getting received back that differs from the transmitted signal. So we'll be having the transceiver as a source and receiving from the similar strategy, but the deflections will be getting occurred in its range and receives to the transceiver back again with following signals, but will be getting happened in a primitive way, and rational possibilities confided here, that too with accurate solution basis. Next one, a radar Doppler velocity meter. Particularly, it also acts as a same transmitter and receiver. Normally, you can call it as a transceiver, as radar emits and receives the wave fronts towards it, and it may obtain after striking this radio waves to an incidental rays that is nothing but transmitted towards the moving object or dynamical object, where that object is moving with respect to a particular velocity, and it reflects back the reflected waves in the certain inclinational format ranging with respect to the theta to the radar unit. That is nothing but from the projected strategy or source rod strategy as displayed in the screen. The deflections or of this theta comes with respect to theta deflection formats or inclinational difference formats. And the comparison of the frequency from this transmitted and reflected beams are calculated. Usually, this Doppler radar units are used by the Department of Police in order to measure the speed of the automobiles. Casually, we can use it to see in an highway systems also. A perfect example is that in order to measure the RPM of the vehicles which are moving with a particular speed, that limits in the range. In the Hyderabad, a best example, we are having this outer ring road. ORR will be calling outer ring road. We should usually move with respect to only the 100 speed. So if at all 100 has been overcrossed, automatically this Doppler radar units is placed in different parts of the different places of the ORR. Hence, that clearly identifies and captures the overspeed than the limit speed of 100 crossed, and automatically the vehicle number will be captured and will be sent the signal back to the RTO office, and from that the challan will be raised and will send as an SMS format to our mobile, which is registered in the RTO office, or else any in the form of this letter oriented also will be coming through post to our house. So hence is an accurate finding of the speed, that too spontaneously and very fastly, and identifying its speed range within less time period. Usually, the laser light, which is used in the place of this radio waves, as some substitution of this radio waves with respect to this laser light, then this Doppler effect is also called as laser Doppler velocity meter, or else the velocimeter, which is also utilized for identifying this velocity of dynamical motions of the vehicles. Finally, the velocity measurement using the displacement and acceleration sensors. Come to the displacement sensors, velocity, particularly it is a time derivative of the displacement, as we all know. Here, I have to calculate the velocity by taking the time derivative of this displacement measurements from the displacement sensor to identify the velocity constantly. Even this is a technique which is playing a major role to apply in the fast moving vehicles also. A greater disadvantage is the process of differentiation of signal amplifies the noise in the system. It fluctuates or amplifies. So amplifying, for the commencement of this amplification factor for getting the stability range, we need to place the equipment within the system. Coming to the acceleration sensors, this velocity is the time integral of acceleration. Unlike of this differentiation, this process of integration limits the noise within the system that is being generating in the dynamical actions. And hence, by limiting the measurement, the velocity measurement, by integrating of the acceleration data, as generally a best choice for measuring the velocity, as v of t is equal to v naught plus integral of a of t, acceleration of t with respect to the specified time. Coming to the angular velocity measurement, so far we have been discussed the 6 different points in the case of this linear format of measuring the velocity. The angular form will be recalling it once again. So the 6 different parameters or approaches for finding the linear form of velocity. One is the electromagnetic transducers, seismic transducers, linear velocity transducers, digital transducers using the Doppler effect, and velocity measurement using displacement and acceleration sensors. And towards that, angular velocity measurements we'll be discussing in the next class. Thank you.